Alright guys, back here again at Greenslopes for another test route video. So it's been a while since we've uploaded a test route video, or I should say it's been a while since we've uploaded a video, and I know we've been real slack with it. But this year we will look to try to get a lot more videos out to you guys. Takeoff's the first things first, just make sure you indicate. It gets pretty busy at this time of the day as well, so just make sure you're looking around, make sure it's safe to start taking off. First part is still fairly same as last time. So car wash on the left hand side here, blocking your view. So just make sure you indicate, come in nice and slow. Use that mirror up there if you want, or just lean forward and just have a check, just to make sure no oncoming traffic is coming through. And then once it's clear, start taking off. And then just here you can see they still got the give way and the no right turn. So you're going to indicate left, you're going to start scanning. Sometimes your view will be a bit restricted because of the car, so just come in nice and controlled. I see no one's coming, so I'm just going to start taking off. Make sure you don't get too close on either side and mount the curb, because that would be a fail straight away. Going to continue engaging my brakes on the downhill, and I'm going to turn left, so I'm just going to indicate left, no one's coming, and then smoothly take off. I'm going to take the first left turn here, just checking my mirrors. Blind spot, make sure no cyclists. This area is fairly known for having like a lot of cyclists around, so make sure you're doing all your checks in general, but then also when you're coming into certain turns and whatnot. And then just go and turn left again at the bottom. So indicate. This is a two-way, so make sure you get over to the left-hand side. Do the checks. It's just a giveaway, so just going to keep the car moving. And down the bottom here, just going to turn right, so right indicator, make sure I choose the correct lane. I've heard sometimes from students that like if they're the first car in the front, like this white car is, it's a bit hard to see the lights right there, so just make sure you're looking out for that one. And then from here, just follow the dotted lines, and I'm going to go straight into the middle lane. Obviously we're turning from one lane, one right turning lane, and it opens up into 3 lanes, so technically you can have a choice of any one of those. I've chosen the middle one, but now I'm going to merge back over to the right. So check my mirrors, shoulder check, and then just slowly come over. At the next set of lights, I'm going to turn right. Now I can do it from either lane. I probably prefer to do it from the inside lane, so I'm going to indicate, check my mirrors, and it's nice and easy, just come in. Now obviously both lanes can turn right here, however the one to the left of me, that can also go straight, and I don't want to cause a traffic jam for anyone behind me who might want to go straight, so I've just come into the right turning lane. Now obviously when you are turning right from here, unlike that first right turn we took at the lights back there, this both lanes can turn, so I need to make sure obviously you don't cross into the left lane, so keep it nice and tight. Coming along, there's that form 1 lane sign, so I need to scan my mirror, shoulder check, just to make sure no one's trying to cut me off and squeeze in, and then you can keep going. That's probably a pretty common mistake I see with a lot of learner drivers. They just struggle to well, I shouldn't say struggle. They fail to like scan their mirrors and their shoulders when the lane next to them is ending. So just back there, like I was in the right lane, left lane was ending, so I scanned what was happening in there just to be safe. Alright, going to continue straight from these lights coming up. Like I was mentioning at the start, I have noticed a lot more students after their test, they're mentioning that the examiner took them to like kind of Cooperoo area. So I guess if you're doing your test here at Greenslopes, just obviously be prepared for anything, but it's just probably a common occurrence that I've noticed over the last few tests. Now what I'm going to do, not this first one, I'm just going to take the next left turn, so I'm going to scan my rear view mirror. I can see a car behind me, so I'm going to indicate to let them know. Scan my mirror, and I want to move off slightly to the left so they can overtake me on the right. and then there's a car parked right in here, so I'm going to be nice and controlled on the approach, and then when possible just getting straight back over to my side. I need to overtake the car, so scanning my mirrors, and then when possible straight back in. And then once again, just look down the road, no one's coming through, scan my mirrors, make sure no one's behind me trying to do anything silly. And then I'm going to turn left at the end here. So left indicator, nice and easy, pull into position, check the right, no one's coming, and then just keep it moving. Got the roundabout coming up here. This one's a bit of a difficult one. The reason for that is, like, this camera will show it, you can't really see too much what's happening from the right, so you got to be real nice and careful on the approach. And if the indicator turns off, just feel free to put it back on. And then I'm going to take this right turn. No one's coming from the front, so nice and easy. Now that I'm in the residential streets, and they're pretty tight here at Greenslopes, and there's usually cars parked up, once you're in the residential streets, don't, like, obviously the speed limit will be 50, but just make sure you're driving to the conditions of the road. I've seen a lot of students say, oh, the speed limit's 50, therefore I should go 50. If the conditions allow you to go 50, then sure, go 50, but like some of these streets have been real tight. I've just quickly stopped here, guys. I just want to explain this a little bit, yeah? So this is what we call a staggered intersection. So I've seen a lot of students, so what's going to happen, I'm going to need to turn left, but then I want to turn right straight away. I've seen students try doing this and just going diagonally over, which you wouldn't be allowed to do, and it can cause a bit of dangerous action as well. So what you want to do is you actually want to make the left turn first, and then come and get perpendicular to the turn, and then you want to set up your right turn. Now that might have seemed a bit slow as I was explaining it, obviously due to the explanation, but in real time it'll be a lot smoother. So it's basically just a left turn and then a right turn. You wouldn't be able to kind of just take the left turn and then diagonally cut straight over. I've had a student fail because they've tried doing that and there was a car oncoming. So just make sure with those staggered intersections or those offset intersections, make sure you're making the left turn first and then clearing the right side before making that turn. Up ahead, going to turn left, so indicate, check my mirrors, make sure nothing in my blind spot. Nice and easy. Can't really see too much because there's cars parked up. So once I've come to like the stop, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to creep forward and then just reconfirm for myself that no one's coming. So like I was mentioning, here at Greenslopes, there'll always be a lot of cars parked up in these residential streets. So don't be in a hurry to get going. Just like once you've, like, this one's another one, so I'm going to turn right here and then I'm going to turn left at the lights. Just from experience, there's usually cars parked up on the left, so it'll block my view. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and do the stop first to make sure I don't fail for that. Now I can't really see anything to the left because of cars blocking my view, so I'm going to clear the right and then I'm just going to creep forward a little bit, just a little bit, and then okay, so by creeping forward I can see now there's cars coming. So now I'm just going to wait here. While I'm waiting, I'm going to make sure I rotate my checks from side to side as often as I can. Right side still clear, and the left side's clearing up. Right side clear, left side clear. I'm going to take off. Now here I need to be careful because I need to make sure I can get into the left lane. And I need to do a shoulder check there as well because there's a bike lane. So those were two quick turns back to back. So make sure, like, you're not trying to speed through those. Just take your time with it. Obviously don't take too long with it where you're kind of like holding up traffic or anything like that, but don't be in a hurry to get in and out. Got a shared light here, which means, or a giveaway light, which means a green circle, no arrow. Gonna indicate, check, do my checks, and then take the turn. I've seen a lot of students really struggle with like the giveaway lights or the shared lights. Pretty much it's when you're turning right or left and there's no specific turning arrow. I've seen students sometimes get themselves into a bad like position or situation where I'll have to apply the brakes from my side. So in order to explain that a little bit better, we're gonna have a video upcoming, and like I said, they're not those types of lights, they're not they're not just here at Greenslopes, they'll be pretty much all around the place. So we'll make sure we get a video out for that so we can explain it a bit more in depth, because I know that wasn't too good of an explanation, it was a bit more rushed. Pedestrians walking, got to be careful. Alright, now when they bring you here, we're coming in towards Stones Corner now. It's a 60 here, so I'm going to get up to speed. And then you can see the sign coming up on the right hand side here. It says 40 ahead. That doesn't mean it's 40 from here. It's just a warning that there is going to be 40 up ahead. I've seen a lot of students just slow down preemptively there. But they can bring you through here. And like I said, a few students have been brought through here. Pretty much if you get brought through here, after the lights, it drops down to 40. And it stays 40 for like a minute or two. So just make sure you're nice and easy with that. Don't be in a hurry. And don't be too pressured by what the other cars are doing. So coming in right here is the 40 high activity zone. Just going to be scanning. Person's crossing, so I've got to be careful with that. Check my rear view mirror as I'm braking there. Still a 40 along here, so like I said, don't be too pressured by what the cars around you are doing, because I'm probably sitting about in that safe range, 37. But yeah. And then we're coming up into the double lane roundabout here at Stones Corner. I want to continue straight, so it's going to be real simple. From here, I'm just going to start scanning off to the right, see what's happening. All clear. Looks like there's a car coming along. No, there isn't. Because I'm going straight, I indicate on the exit, let them know what I'm trying to do, use my mirrors, because now I want to take this left turn here. Into a residential zone now, so just picking up the speed to 50. This one is 60 though. We're going to have a good example of driving to the conditions up ahead. So we're going to go straight from these lights, and the sign on the left hand side does say 60. However, just from experience, there's always way too many cars parked up. There's usually people walking around. Sometimes there'll be like kids walking around as well. So I probably wouldn't even get to 60 on that road, but I'll probably see how 50 feels or 55 feels, and I might just hold that. But obviously it just comes back to like a real fundamental of the speed limit is just like a maximum limit that you can't exceed. You'll always need to like apply a bit of intuition and like logic and just drive to the conditions of the road in that current situation. Not only that, I probably can't get to 60 anyways because the traffic ahead of me. So pretty much just going like mid 40s, 40 at the moment. And then I want to turn right at this light because I just want to turn onto the motorway. If you're doing your test at Greenslopes, there's a good chance you'll go onto the motorway. There's two motorway entries. You got the Birdwood Road entry and you got the Juliet Street entry. We're doing the Juliet Street entry. This is the one in front of the 7-Eleven. They can also bring you from that side as well, so it's not just this side. This one is a bit tricky, this entry, for a lot of students who maybe aren't as experienced on doing like highway driving or highway merging. But pretty much we got the giveaway lights, so I'm gonna, okay, now it's turned into a right turn specifically just for us. So I'm gonna go, and I wanna hop all the way over to the left lane. Now, I'm allowed to cross over those initial 3 lanes because it was, I wasn't affecting anyone's path. It was a 1-lane right turn into multiple lanes, so I get to choose. So from here, indicating, checking my mirrors, make sure nothing silly going on. Green light, so just gonna hop on to when you're going onto the motorway, try always getting into the right lane if possible. It'll make your life easier, because if you're in the left lane, then you got to worry about merging over. But either way, I know there's a lane to the left of me, so I'm going to pick up to 60 for the time being. Just scan my mirrors, see what's happening in that left lane, scan, shoulder check, and now focus on the right side. You coming, I'm going to get behind them, so I'm going to ease off, shoulder check, mirror, shoulder, rear view mirror, and then nice and easy. Just slot in behind them. And then once you're on the motorway, it's relatively easy. You just want to leave a safe distance with you and the car in front. Now obviously you're at a higher speed limit, so you wouldn't leave the same distance you would on a 60 road. You'd want to leave a little bit more, so 3 seconds is pretty much what I'm aiming for. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna stay in this lane. If you're on the test, they probably won't get you to change lanes. Stay in this lane, and then they'll tell you to take the next exit. Now if you take the Juliet Street entry onto the motorway, they'll take you off they'll take you off the Marshall Road exit. So what I'm going to do, I know I'm going to have to leave here, so I'm going to start indicating. You probably noticed I indicated a little bit sooner. It's because we're at a higher speed limit, so I'm trying to give the drivers behind us an extra maybe two seconds or so of notice that I am, looking to do something up ahead. I've seen a lot of students hop into this end and they'll suddenly drop down to 60. You don't want to do that back there. However, once you start getting to about this point, you can see the 60 sign coming up. Start making it a bit more gradual in regards to getting that speed back down. And then I want to turn left at the light, so I'm going to stick close to the line, indicate, check my shoulder and my mirrors, just to make sure no bike or small vehicle trying to get into my blind spot. Green arrow, so I know I can keep going. Quick scan of the right, and then just keep it moving. I've heard mixed answers with that situation there, because I had the green arrow. Technically I am allowed to go, so sometimes students will ask, like, why would I need to scan the right side there? It's just to be safe that no one's doing anything silly and coming through really illegally. However, you don't want to be overly slowing down to do that scan. It should just be one quick scan on the approach. Marshall Road here, this is the one that goes downhill suddenly and then picks uphill as well. So on the downhill, make sure you're using the brakes, otherwise it's very easy for the car to get beyond 60. And then on the uphill here, make sure you're accelerating as well, because you don't want to be sitting 40 in an uphill, because all the cars behind you will start getting a bit angry. I'm going to stick in this lane, and I'm just going to go straight from the lights. After the lights here, I do have a Form 1 lane, which means my lane and the lane to the right of me will be merging into one. So what I need to do is, in an appropriate time, in an appropriate sequence, I need to start scanning my mirrors and my shoulders, and then pretty much just look to form into a central lane. There's two different types. You'll have one that says left lane ends, merge right, and then you'll have one that just says Form 1 lane. With the Form 1 lane, it's usually that the two lanes are forming into a central lane, and with the merge right, it's usually the left lane that's ending and has to merge over to the right. In either case, in both situations, both drivers should be scanning their mirrors and their shoulders anyways, just to see what's happening around them, because there's going to be so much so much going on at once, I guess. Alright, as I'm coming through, I can see the Form 1 lane, so I'm going to start scanning my right mirror. Right car's leaving me distance. I'm going to check my mirror, rear view, shoulder, and then just slightly come in. And then once I'm in, I'm just going to scan my rear view mirror just to see like what's happening behind me. Going to indicate to take this left turn, so let the car behind me know. Check my mirror, shoulder, nice and easy on the approach. Take the turn, and then nice and easy out of the turn as well. This is a very good example, guys. So like the parked cars were on my side, which is why I have to leave space for the oncoming vehicle. If the parked cars were on their side, then they would leave me space ideally. But I've seen students try going before that car. Just make sure like you're being a bit more observant of what's happening down the road as well. This part here can be a bit tricky sometimes, guys, because the hedge on the right here, it's kind of blocking your view. So what I'm going to do, I've come to the stop, and same thing, I'm just going to slowly start creeping up a bit. I can see no one's coming, so eyes back to the road, and now I'm going to make my turn. All right, got a bit of obstruction going up ahead, so I'm going to have to be nice and easy through here. Come back onto my side when it's safe. And in situations like this on the test, don't get nervous. Don't feel like you need to rush through it. Just nice and easy. Make sure there's enough space on both sides. That's it. And then obviously now there's cars parked on both sides, so if no one's coming through from the other side, just kind of hop into the middle. And then when it's safe, you should be looking to get back onto your side. Alright guys, so these lights coming up here, these are the infamous giveaway lights where a lot of new students or students that come just before the test, or students that don't know the area too well, have failed here. Because what they don't understand is if you're turning right here, you have to give way to obviously everyone from the front of you coming straight and anyone from the front turning into the street that you're turning into. So I've seen this go horribly wrong for a lot of students, but we can see lights gone green. There's no one on the other side, no pedestrians either, so we're good to go and just make our turn. But like I said, those giveaway lights, there's a lot of those around Greenslopes here, but there's a lot in general as well. So what we're going to do, we're going to make a separate video on that. It'll probably be like 10-15 minutes, just kind of going through the basics, the fundamentals of those types of lights, and explaining what you can do in certain situations. That's pretty much it, guys. Back onto Logan Road now. It's been about 20 something minutes, 23, 24 minutes. And pretty much just going to make our way back to the test center. Once we get there, I'll kind of do a little bit of a wrap up and a few other announcements. Going to turn left back into the test center, nice and easy. Check my mirrors, shoulders. Like I said, usually a lot of cyclists around here, so you just want to be nice and careful. On the way back to your test center, you will be coming into this left lane here. So when you start, you'll be in that right lane because you'll start on the right side. When you finish, you'll finish on the left side. In here, it is like very slow speed limit, so you want to make sure you're scanning both sides here. Right side clear, left side clear. Nice and easy. And then indicate. And like I said, you'll finish on the left side, so that's where we're going to go and finish now. Make sure you look into the turn, no one's coming out real quick. Make your turn.